What's going on YouTube? Lock and load one time for the one time. This is your boy JR. About to get into this Janet Jackson documentary, two-part documentary that ended tonight. I know people are probably still watching on the East Coast. You know, I got a little peek another way at it. After watching it, did I learn a lot that I already didn't know? No, not that much. Not that much. Because there's been a lot of documentaries, a lot of behind the scenes things that people have said over the years, things you could find on YouTube, things that people have done overseas. There's a lot of stuff that I knew Janet was not going to speak about. And it pretty much was very, very surface level for me. Yeah, they got a little bit deep, but not deep enough. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe. I sure the hell would appreciate it. Let me fix my mic real quick. One time for the one time. Like I said, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Now let's go in. Janet has always been a very private person. The entire Jackson family are very private. Other than LaToya back in the day talking crazy. Was she telling the truth? Was she lying? Who knows till this day. She doesn't talk that much very often these days as well. I wondered in this documentary, yes, you saw Randy Jackson, who is, the last boy of the family. He was in the Jackson 5 after Michael left. Well, not after Michael left. Well, towards the end of the Jackson 5. But he ain't one of the most respected Jacksons in the world. But he's probably the person that probably knows the most. He probably knows where all the bones are buried. And he said a lot, but he didn't say much. I know he kept saying to Janet, it's about your father. It's your father. Now, sometimes you could say shit unconsciously and don't realize you're saying it, but you just keep on saying it. A Freudian slip, you could say. Because all 9 people in Gary, Indiana, back in those days, a poor black family, 11 people in the house, a 2-bedroom, had to be a lot of hell going on. But Janet, being the baby, she didn't remember any of the bad stuff. She was too young, and all she remembered was, the good stuff when they went to L.A. and everything was everything when Diana Ross was in the pool and they got, Stevie, they got Red Fox, they got everybody, Marvin Gaye, every Motown celebrity was at their home. So when you see that, of course Janet said to herself, hell, that's the hell I want. That's what Michael wanted too. Now she said that her and Michael were very close when they were young, and as time went on, they went their separate ways. It happens in families where you just go away for a while and you become estranged. Now, do I wish that they went more in depth on why they went their separate ways and didn't speak to each other more than just the music and after Thriller and when Michael's celebrity went to the roof, a celebrity that we have never seen heights of before, where he just really didn't want to be spoken to, maybe, or to the family. I think after Michael Jackson, in my opinion, I think after Michael Jackson finished his obligations with his brothers and with his father, he said to himself, I'm never doing this shit again. And they talked about that in American Dream, what was that, 20-some years ago, back in the early 90s, with like the 25-hour documentary miniseries, where I want to say Jackie Jackson said, whoever played Terrence Howard, whoever Terrence Howard played in the Jackson American Dream, I want to say it was, yeah, whoever it was. He said, I never thought I would have to make an appointment with my own brother. And I think that's how it was. He didn't want to be bothered. I wish Michael Jackson was alive to tell his true story. But even him, like Janet, they knew how to play the media game. Like, less is more. I will give you just enough, but I'm not going to give you everything, like what she did with the documentary. Yes, we got the behind-the-scenes stuff. We got a little bit of footage of her cussing Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis out, which was a nice little moment. But, about her and her father, about getting control of her career and standing up to him, Usually the kid in the family who is the youngest or one of the youngest who have seen it all, usually in my opinion, I think the parent gives them a little bit more leeway to say what they want because that kid has seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so she stuck her chest out and stood up for herself and said, fuck this. I want control of my career, and I don't care if you don't like it or not. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And she did it, and it worked. Her first 2 albums didn't do a damn thing. That is a great lesson for people who are in the music industry. Yeah, her first 2 albums at being Janet Jackson, and she didn't even want her own name on the album. She just wanted to be Janet. And she flopped on her first 2 albums, but she didn't quit. She didn't quit. I think a lot of that had to do with watching her brother become the biggest star who has ever lived. And she said, you know what? I may not ever become my brother, but motherfucker, I'm about to get real close. Real close. And there was a moment in time where Janet was a bigger star than Michael Jackson. Let's get right to that. There was a moment in time in the 90s when Janet was kicking Michael's ass. Okay? And if you don't think there was a friendly rivalry, a brother-sister rivalry there that maybe Michael harbored more than Janet did, it fueled Michael to want to be better. It probably fueled Janet to want to be better. But I think Michael probably looked at her and was like, all right, baby sis, I see you. I got you. You want to come out with Rhythm Nation? I'm going to come out with Dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So it had to be there. That sibling rivalry had to be there. But there had to be a rift somewhere within the family. Oh, yes, Joe is always the easy target. A lot of people want to go back to this back in the day where, well, Joe Jackson was a black man in the 60s and he had to do what he had to do, and the Jacksons wouldn't be shit if he didn't beat them and do what he had to do as a parent and discipline them the way he did. They would not be the stars that they are. Well, I have a opinion about that can go either way about that. Is it necessary to keep hitting your children? It works for some. It doesn't work for others. Janet doesn't look at her dad. Some of them don't look at their dad as being this tyrant that a lot of the family members have said he was, as Michael has said he was, and the older kids say he was. So Janet has a different feeling about it. But she did say, I don't want to be controlled anymore. So it had to be something. So, something doesn't add up with that. But I think, she's the baby and maybe she doesn't want to, she already said she wanted control and I'm not going to buck the system anymore. But she doesn't want to go back to those bad times. Because the people in the family who knows the most is Reby, Jackie, Marlon, Tito, Michael, LaToya. Those are the ones who know where the bones are buried. And Catherine ain't gonna say too much. She was married to this man for how many years? How bad? They never really give all of it. How bad was it in that house on Jackson Street in Gary, Indiana? I'm gonna tell you right now, it had to be hell going on because Joe Jackson came from a time in life where he was the breadwinner. I'm gonna go, okay, and his mind was, I pay the cost to be the boss. It's my way or the highway, and that went with Catherine, and that went with all those kids, and that is the God honest truth. Okay, you can't fool me. You can't fool me when it comes to that. When it comes to the music, Janet is one of the greatest artists who have ever lived. Okay, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. From Control to Rhythm Nation to the Janet album to Velvet Rope to All For You. Okay, all the hits are the hits. She will never ever be forgotten. Never. They talked about her love life. One of the moments where she said that, she has a subconscious. She is attracted to men that are on dope, who are on drugs, and she doesn't understand why. She just is. She was a child star. She was a child star. grew up in the industry. She's seen it all, everything. She's seen everything. Okay? The whole family did. And so she knows it all. When she was with James DeBarge, and he was on dope. If you've never seen Unsung on the DeBarge family, I wish you would watch it. The whole damn family was on drugs, and they admit it. They all were on drugs really, really bad. From the baby girl of the family to the oldest brother of the family. They all were on dope. Really, really bad. Okay, and James DeBarge died of, well, I'm not going to say what he died of. I'll let you guys go look how he passed away. But it was a problem. It was a major problem. And then her next man was on drugs as well, and he was vlogging before anybody was vlogging. 10 years of footage. He's not dead. Where was he at in this documentary? The only person that was in this documentary was Jermaine Dupri. The only person, it was Jermaine Dupri. Everybody on Twitter, he went on the Shade Room, was like, how the hell were you cheating on Janet Jackson? Look here. When he said in the documentary that tonight, he said, my stock rose when I got with Janet Jackson. Because one thing about people, when people see you with beautiful people, they want to see what is the reason why. Because you look at Jermaine Dupri, you say to yourself, how the hell did Jermaine Dupri get Janet Jackson? It can't be. This can't be true. Well, if you look at Janet and the way she is, she's probably more down to earth than you think. This whole celebrity shit is for the birds for her. And all she just wants to be loved. She just wants to be loved. I think she's been hurt a lot. You could see it in her eyes that she's been through a lot in all her years of life. As much as the success as the family has had, as she had, the much of success and money that she has had in her career, it doesn't mean a thing if you're not truly happy internally with yourself and happy, but even better when you're happy and at peace at heart and when you have somebody to share it with. So maybe, to me, it seemed like Jermaine Dupri fulfilled a need more than he probably ever even knew. But in his mind, I got Janet Jackson and everybody throwing the draws at me, so I might as well take it. Well, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. And in his mind, he can always say, just like people, I want to say a word, but I'm not. You know what I want to say. It starts with an N. Well, at least I got her for a little while. I can always say I got Janet Jackson. And he dated her for a long time. But, he never put a ring on her finger. Never, ever did. Maybe, I guess, in Janet Jackson's mind, that's the man that got away. Maybe that's the man that got away in her heart. Now, the only thing about this, about her relationship, before Jermaine Dupri and after the divorce with the other man in the early 90s, what else was transpiring? I want them to talk about other things. Her music got way more sexual over the years. I wonder, was that a sense of control of her music catalog where she could just say whatever she wants? She started talking about conscious things on Rhythm Nation. But her music, and what people don't understand about Janet Jackson's catalog, she's one of the most nastiest singers of all time. The lyrics to Janet Jackson's songs will blow your mind. Songs like Would You Mind, Moist, Discipline. I can go on. And I know y'all can hit me in the comment section if I'm lying. The music got more and more sexual. Her concerts got more sexual, bringing men on stage and seducing them. Some of them having a huge climax on stages. It was crazy. And I know these kids are watching this stuff like, was this really going on? And probably to go looking up Janet Jackson concerts, it will blow your mind. I saw Janet Jackson one time only, I want to say a few years ago. And it was incredible. Incredible. The music starts and you just go back in time to all the hits and you're having the time of your life. Now, saying all that to say this, Janet Jackson had a full career. She didn't have to do nothing else. She really didn't have to do this documentary. She could have just put it in a book and called it a day. Or never say nothing. And just stay a recluse to the public eye the way a lot of the Jackson family are. But she gave us this little nugget. Like I said, I still wish that they digged a little bit deeper, okay, in the family dynamic and how they really, really, truly feel as a family. It seems to me that this family is a broken family. A lot of different, it's just a bunch of people that happen to be family, but they're not that very close. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Yeah, you're family by name. You're family by name and you're family by blood. But when the chips are down and when you really want to talk to somebody and when you hang out, you laugh and having a good time with people, I don't think they kick it like that. They are not that close. Yeah, they talked about, they had a moment with the family, Michael Jackson and Janet, said I love you one last time before Mike passed. But before then, how often do they speak to one another? 9 brothers and sisters. 9. How often do they talk? Did they talk daily? Did they talk weekly? She said she didn't talk to Michael in a few years before they did Scream. She did Scream at a solidarity for all the stuff that Michael Jackson went through with the scandals and more scandals and that scandal. They didn't talk about the plastic surgery. They didn't talk about his kids, They could have went deeper. They did talk about the long time rumor about Janet having a baby and all that. That's all gone. That rumor's been out before I was born. And I was born in 1986. Okay, and God rest my mom's soul. She's still, I can hear her right now. She would always say it was a Jet magazine, and they said that she had a secret baby. I said, Mama, stop it. That's not true. I don't care. And my mom, in her heart of hearts, God rest her soul, still probably thinks, while she's gone, that rumor is true. She says it's not true. It's not true. By now, hell, we would have saw a picture, a photo, or something. Hell, with all the social media we have now, we would have found out. So it is what it is. Who gives a damn? Who cares? But they did talk about it and skim, But stuff that we already knew. Some of the behind the scenes footage, stuff that we, a few things we didn't see. But did we get to the real meat and potatoes that we wanted to know? Before I leave this video, I don't want to get too long-winded because I can go on and on and on and on. See what I did there? Somebody finish the lyrics. Don't know what you got to this gone. Oh, man. They talked about Janet and Justin Timberlake. She said that she's still friends with him. I didn't know that the NSYNC opened up for Janet back in the day, which is that was interesting to me, and that's how they got a relationship. Interesting, I would look, just like Britney Spears used to open up for, Destiny's Child used to open up for Britney Spears back in the day. It's crazy how that career went. You know what I mean? It's just little things like that. It's that little bitty thing. But, the Super Bowl fiasco, which was one of the most overhyped things of all time. I remember that Super Bowl 2004. Beyonce sang the national anthem, and it was the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. Beyonce sang the national anthem, and then Janet went on at halftime, and they had the most random selection of people on stage. They had Diddy. I forget who else was on the stage. Who else came out? Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson. They just threw people together in that Super Bowl. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. And then Justin Timberlake ripped that thing off of Janet, and all of a sudden, you just saw a titty, and the TV just went off. When I mean they went to commercials so fast, it was absolutely ridiculous. And they blackballed Janet for years and ruined some of her prime years. And when that happened, Justin Timberlake skyrocketed and never said a word until a couple years ago. No, was it last year or 2 years ago? We finally apologized. Look here, you moonwalked your ass out of that one. Okay? You moonwalked your white ass out of that one, Justin. Okay? You need to give that woman flowers for the rest of your career. Because you definitely, that moment when you didn't stick up for her all them years ago, because probably somebody got in your ear and said, just shut up and let her handle it. And she just took it on the chin and let it happen. She just took it, but she holds no qualms. She's not mad at him. We are, because we don't like the optics of it all. But if she's not mad, all the money that she's made, why the hell would she? Why the hell would she? But y'all let me know what y'all think about the Super Bowl fiasco. Because you look at it now, all the people, what they doing now on stage, all the titties you can find on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everybody's naked. Everybody's naked online now. They showed a titty. They didn't wear them the whole nipple. The nipple was covered. Okay? The whole nipple was covered. And they banned her. But all the sex that's on TV now, how times have changed 18 years later. Crazy, ain't it? Crazy. You know what? Y'all let me know what this documentary. And before I go, this documentary, they didn't even show this girl. They didn't show the baby. They didn't talk about her last ex-husband. The ex-husband. What happened to that man when she turned Muslim? Is she still Muslim? Where's the baby? And what's happening? Well, she kept that private. You know what I mean? We could have went a lot deeper. Okay? She's had a very, very interesting life. A very interesting life. She lived an amazing life. But what I've learned about the Jackson family, in my opinion, like I said before, yeah, they had a lot of success, but a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain. And there's a lot of memories they do not like to speak about. They will talk when they want to about the things they want to talk about. But if you talk about anything deeper than that, they don't want to go there. Catherine about Michael's death. Don't want to go there. How bad was Michael's drug use? They don't want to go there. Was it the reason why Michael didn't want to talk to the family? Because I'm a celebrity. I am on my high horse. And I don't want to talk to you. And another thing, I'm going to hide this drug addiction from the entire family. But I've heard stories that they knew. They knew. But to what level? Well, we found out in a very bad way. We found out the way he passed away, which is one of the saddest days of all time, if you're a Michael Jackson fan. When Michael Jackson passed on June 25th, 2009, was one of the saddest days in the world. When I mean everybody mourned that day, everybody. And I saw people on YouTube crying, and people on Twitter, on Facebook. People were just reliving that moment where Janet talking about it. Yeah, it was sad. Being a Michael Jackson stan, being a Jackson stan, having all of his albums, having all of Janet Jackson's albums. Hell, I got vinyls of the Jackson family that people don't even have. Sheesh. From Jackson 5 to Off the Wall, you name it, I got it. So, you want to talk about the Jacksons, hell, you could talk to me. Hell, I'm damn near a historian about it. Now, before I go, I know I've said it multiple times, I feel like a pastor about to leave service, but I have more to say. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. I sure the hell would appreciate it. I did enjoy the documentary. Like I said, I just wanted a little bit more meat on the bone. Give us more. Give us a little bit more. Give us some more. Give us some more juice. You know what I mean? There's a lot to undo about this story. There's a lot to unpack. Okay, after all these years, Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Smitty486. That's SMITTY 486 SMITTY 486. Follow me, I follow back. Talk to me nice, I talk nicer. I will holla at you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I got work in the morning, so I got to go to bed very soon. I will holla at y'all later.